Forbidden door. Forbidden door. Forbidden door.
Hey, we should start the recording because there's news about Danielson.
Oh, cool. Because he's on my list.
All right. God strong enough to punch God that wouldn't hurt? I don't know.
What?
The fuck?
Hello, everybody. Leon, too. This is the BREWDCAST. I am, as always, Bud Robinson. And to my right is the venerable Town. To my left is the adorable Leon Robinson. Say hi, Leon.
Hi, Leon.
How come he's adorable and I'm venerable?
I don't know.
What's venerable mean?
I also don't know.
So you're using a word you don't know.
Yeah.
Hey,
I'm a professional.
There's a breaking news story. Wednesday on Dynamite, Danielson's going to come out and talk about what's going on with him and his status for Forbidden Door and Blood and Guts.
So is it going to be one of those, I am hurt and I can't do this stuff and this sucks? Or is it going to be, they said I was hurt, but I'm going to kick somebody in the head? So,
Leon, you thought before he had a concussion, and I didn't think he had a concussion.
It's not that I thought that. I had read something to that.
So I initially was like, no way. And then the more I thought about it, I'm like, he probably did. But now they're saying it is officially not a concussion. So, which is good, because I think if he had, like, concussions for him are extra bad.
Yeah, that's
so.
Considering the condition he was in, yeah, that would be real bad.
I think my estimation with that is he's going to come out and say, "Hey, I'm ready to go. Give me Zack Sabre.
God,
I'm going to get a chub."
Wait, what was that last part?
I'm going to get a chub.
Raging towny chub.
Yeah.
I very much want to see Zack Sabre and Bryan Danielson. Like,
that will be the match of the fucking night.
Yes, it will.
That will be the match of the night.
Yeah.
Like, I have no doubt in my mind that'll be the match of the night if it happens.
I hope so hard that happens.
But if he's hurt and needs time off, I'm cool with that too. But then what they need to do is they need to do this again next year. They need to make this a thing they do every year.
I hope that they make it.
They need to make that a good relationship and keep it going.
I hope they reciprocate. I hope they do an NJPW show, like do another joint show in Japan instead of the US.
Maybe they should go together to Saudi Arabia.
I don't think so.
No, my bad.
Yeah.
Hey, Leon.
I don't want to put everything you do, Town, but I mean, ooh.
What wrestling news do you have this week?
What
wrestling news don't you have this week? I want to see where Leon's mind is. Because there's like a million things we could talk about.
Yeah, Jesus Christ. Holy fuck. Whoa,
and Leon has forgotten about all of them. Do you want...
Apparently, Vince went on fucking SmackDown after stepping down as CEO said that I'm not stepping down. Come and get some.
No, he didn't even say that.
I haven't...
He was also on Raw tonight. He's also on Raw tonight.
Oh,
he came out on Raw. Yeah. Unannounced came out on Raw.
Sounds like somebody's stepping down to me.
I don't think he is. Because he's got so much power within that company. And he's got such voting rights that they'd have to vote him out. So realistically, he'd have to agree to step down. And I don't know if he'll do that.
So... From what I've read,
I really don't think he's doing that until he is cold.
From what I've read, he has stepped down. Stephanie has stepped up to the CEO position, and that's until all the controversy is done. Now he could still run the company as a shadow figure, right? Like he is very wont to do.
Oh no, he's not stepping down from creative.
Fair. That is fair.
Yeah,
yes.
It says CEO.
So he's still gonna go to his office every day. He's still gonna do the same thing he always did. He's just not gonna be the CEO.
Yeah,
he's gonna go to all the towns. He's gonna book all the shows, and that's the power.
He's
they can't
rewrite everything at the last second.
They can't take the power away from him.
I don't know that they want to.
Too good of a spot.
Oh God, Vince, what the fuck?
Yeah, he's kind of entrenched there, you know.
Why are we surprised by this?
Oh God, nobody's fucking surprised by this. Anybody who's been paying attention at all for over the last 30 years of professional wrestling is not surprised by this in the least.
As much as he strives to not be a carny business and he thinks he's like Walt Disney, and he's doing this magical shit with professional wrestling, he's a fucking carny at his heart.
Yeah.
And he fucking does shit and he fucks people over and he uses his power to his advantage. That's what he is. He's your typical rich, white American male that thinks the world revolves around him and he can do whatever the fuck he wants.
Yeah.
That's exactly what he is.
Yeah.
I don't think he's going anywhere. I just don't think he is. I think Leon's right. I think he'll be there till he's dead.
You're probably right.
Yeah.
That makes me sad.
Barring something unforeseen at this point, like it would actually have to be like, you know, real bad. Like, not saying that this is good, but
from a particular standpoint, stockholders don't see this as bad.
Kind of, you know, explained away and consenting adults and all that fun stuff.
With this whole Me Too movement, I'm just shocked that something hasn't been said about him sooner, to be completely honest with you.
Yeah.
Because there has to be other. Think about the whole.
There was the freaking. There was that spa thing down in Florida like a decade or so ago too.
That was Robert Kraft.
No. There was a Vince thing down there too.
Whatever.
Yeah.
If you look at the culture, if you look at the whole culture,
the same kind of situation. I believe that one was applied to be some sort of assault, but I don't remember all the details. So let's move along.
If you look at the whole culture of WWE and the WWF and just wrestling, not even that, like just wrestling in particular, and you think about like in the Attitude Era, we didn't like Sable, we didn't like Sunny. We're gonna shit in their bags, we're gonna shit in their food. That's the culture, and it's been the old boys club of we don't want you here, we're gonna make your life miserable, so you leave. Like, they do it to people they don't like. They do it to people they deem a threat. They did it to Sable. Why they do it to Sable? Because she was a huge fucking star. Nobody liked her because she was a star and she knew it. They did it to Public Enemy because they thought you guys are idiots from ECW. We're going to treat you like shit. They have that culture that you have to become a part of, and it's toxic as fuck. And I don't know if it's still that way, but that culture doesn't come from the people in the locker room. That culture comes from the top. Because if I'm the boss of that company and that shit's going on and I don't want it, it's really easy for me to say, hey, if you keep doing this, boom. You're out. You're out. Like, no, that's not the case. That's not what they want at all. They wanted that culture. I remember being a little kid and reading in the WWF magazine about the Hardy Boys. So this was a Raw magazine. This was probably like 99 when they first got in there. How they made the head of they didn't say who it was. They called him the Dojo Master. Was the guy in charge of the locker room. It was the Undertaker, by the way.
Yeah.
Learn that later. But he wanted them to... He gave him a 6-pack of beer and said, go drink this 6-pack and then go piss on a stop sign. And they didn't want to do it because they weren't going to drink beer. No, ironically, that's hilarious nowadays. But back then, they wouldn't drink beer. But, like, that is just a toxic culture. Or you look at, like, Bradshaw. Bradshaw is just, like, walking toxic. And, like, all those guys they had in that fucking locker room. Mm-hmm. Like, that doesn't surprise me. Because that's how the guy at the top is. Yeah, he's tight. It's just so he's got this toxic environment, and they try to do this, you know, anti-bullying and we're this, we're that. They do all these things, and it's like if you've been watching long enough, you can see right through it. Like if I'm a little kid, if I'm a 5-year-old kid and I watch wrestling, and I see that, I'm like, oh, I'm going to be a star. I'm not going to do that. That's fine, but for the people like us that have been there for so damn long, they can't pull the wool over our eyes because it's so blatantly obvious that they're pieces of shit.
Yeah. I don't think that I could put it any better.
Yep.
What else you got, Leon? Anything else?
I went and saw some live wrestling yesterday. It was a blast.
What company was it?
Future Stars of Wrestling, FSW, out here in Vegas. It was a really good time.
Anything noteworthy?
As I mentioned in our chat, one of the chats, like the very first match that I saw come out, the first wrestler was an LGBTQ wrestler. Came out, pride flag. All I think it was Nicki Minaj came out too, pink tights, all that fun stuff. And as I mentioned, normally we know professional wrestling. The fact that the dude came out and wasn't just booed out of the building for being who he was fucking great.
Yeah,
it was really cool to see, because we think back, Billy and Chuck, every other stupid gay stereotype that there's ever been, or kind of gender bending gimmick that there's ever been. Those have all been played as the heel. They're different. Boo the fuck out of these people. Mm-hmm. Dude got cheered phenomenally, and it was just a really cool thing to see. In addition to him, there was another local wrestler named Funny Bone, who I've seen a bunch of different times. He does a lot of hardcore stuff and gimmick matches and everything. And he came out with a pride flag, and he's normally just got like skeleton-based paint all over him and everything, but he had colors and everything, bright colors on himself, which I had never seen before, and gave a little speech after the ladder match he was in about, thank you for letting me be me. I've never done this before. And so I think I don't know if it was him coming out officially there, or if he's been out and, he just came out like gimmick wise or what, but once again, it was just really fucking cool to see that be embraced at a professional wrestling show, where normally that is played for, ew, this person is different, boo the fuck out of them.
Yeah, and we've talked
about
really
cool to see that.
Stereotypes, man, stereotypes.
We've talked about that on this podcast before, where it's cheap heat. Like you make a guy gay, and it's cheap heat, or it's a comedy thing, like with Chuck and Billy. It's like a comedy gag.
Yes.
So it's great to see. Like we were just talking about how in the 90s and the 80s it was bullying and all sorts of shit where
this person is different, boo them.
Yes, and it's nice to see that the wrestling community is evolving. It's not perfect, obviously, but like we're
absolutely not. No,
I'd like to say that we're getting there.
That at all.
Yeah. It's nice to see like somebody's able to go out and they don't get booed out of the building, or they're not called a crack whore if they say they're a lesbian or something. Which in an ECW show you would like. It's nice to know that people care a little bit more.
Acceptance, man. Acceptance.
Yeah.
Society as a whole has changed, and some people are kicking and screaming, but not everybody is. And I think a fair amount of like true wrestling, hardcore wrestling fans you have so much respect for the people that do this, and it comes down to, as long as they're happy, like, you can support that.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I don't care that Pat Patterson was gay, because Pat Patterson was a really good wrestler, and Pat Patterson was he was fun as a stooge, and Pat Patterson was really good at booking.
Yeah.
Or like Effie.
Yeah.
Dude got the biggest pop in GC fucking W. Ow. Because if we think, no offense to GCW, but like if you think of the bottom of the barrel fan, you're looking at the hardcore wrestling fan. And those people they're so smart. Those hardcore fans are so damn smart, even though they want to see everybody bleed and get their ass kicked. They're so fucking smart. And I think wrestling fans are smarter than we've ever been. You've got your run-of-the-mill wrestling fan that still, I think, would easily boo a character like that.
Yeah.
but there's a lot more acceptance.
I didn't mean to say, like it's gone and ta-da, everybody's great now and we're all accepting, but like just that crowd in general and everything I didn't mean like it wasn't trying to insinuate that everything's perfect and good, but just the reaction in general there, just the fact that it is changing and like wasn't hearing those kind of little snarky little remarks about a character like that or anything. It was cool. It was one of those things that just kind of made me feel good that as a fandom, as a society, we're moving in the right direction. Way too fucking slow, but baby steps, Bob. Baby steps.
There's people that would argue that point with you that we're going way too fast, but I agree with you.
Yeah,
I agree with you.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely, yeah.
Talking about this, I was reminded of 10 years ago, Chris Canyon I think he had already come out as bisexual, and he was proposing a bisexual gimmick. I guess it was probably more than 10 years ago, because I think this was in WCW. No, it was in TNA. And so they said, no, that's bullshit. You're not doing it. And then they gave it to, I think, Orlando Jordan instead. But I don't remember if it was Orlando Jordan or if it was maybe Elex Skipper.
It was Orlando Jordan, and it was done very poorly.
Yes. Horrible taste. And there are a lot of people who said that, that was a contributing factor to, because Chris Canyon dealt with depression his whole life, and that was a contributing factor to him ultimately committing suicide. And then I look at guys like Effie, and I look at guys like Nick Gage, of all people, had a thing on Reddit where he just got on his phone and he was like, trans rights, motherfuckers, or something like that. And he's like, I didn't think I would have to say this out loud and be specific about it, but trans rights, like, trans people are people. Like Nick Gage. Like, I would not expect that to come from that guy.
Everybody gets it, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if the Briscoe boys do, but he does.
Let's leave that one be. And the other fun part from that show was I got to see a kid that used to work with the nightlife out here. He still does it, but he got to challenge kind of a big name. Hammerstone is their big belt holder currently, and from the rumblings that I heard, I think he might be part owner of the promotion as well. But anyhow, my buddy Ice Williams got to challenge for the belt, but didn't, came up a little short on it. But it was a fun match.
Cool.
Dude showed out. He's a hell of a talented kid, and it was really fun to see him come out there to the reaction that he got and everything. It was cool.
Yeah.
I had fun.
Excellent.
Count?
Yeah.
Count?
Yeah.
I like wrestling.
That's good.
I like wrestling a lot.
Really?
I think I do too.
I like wrestling.
I'm not sure yet.
I think Bud might.
I'm still trying to figure that out.
Trick, you on the fence still?
Yeah.
Haven't made up your mind about this wrestling stuff.
Bud, what do you have?
Oh my God, what don't I have? Okay. I want to nitpick. This is my nitpick for the week. What the fuck was with Sammy coming out as Fuego del Sol? What was the point of that?
Yeah,
he came out and he attacked. Like, how does that change anything if he attacks as him?
They did that before.
Okay.
When the hell did they do that? He did that once before, and it was kind of the same thing. When I saw him come out and interfere, I'm like, oh, Sammy's out. I knew instantly because they did that once before.
I didn't catch that immediately. I was like, all this shit that they've had him do, and they're having Fuego side with fucking Jericho? What the hell? Like, I didn't catch it immediately.
I have a question about that whole thing. How many people are we going to pack into that group? The Jericho Appreciation Society. There is too many people.
7 now.
That's too many people. That's way too many people in that group.
Yeah, I would agree.
Honestly, I think it was them just
you had to turn Sammy.
I think they were realizing that the Sammy Ty thing couldn't sustain itself by itself. so they latched him on there.
Oh, I disagree. I think they could be a great heel couple. I think they'd be just fine on their own. But are they going to go? My concern with it is they're going to take those 3 young guys and make them kind of the B team, which is not because those guys are fucking amazing.
Yeah.
You know, and I like Jake Hager, but Jake Hager is just kind of there.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just a muscle there.
No real importance. You know, and I don't feel like he's ever going to have a run. I think he's just going to be Jericho's dude, which is fine. Yeah. That's not a bad spot.
It works for him. It's something he's capable of, which, you know.
I don't know. I saw that. I'm like, cool, but then I'm like, because I think Jericho and Guevara together are absolutely amazing. They play off each other so well. They have such great chemistry. Mm-hmm. But I'm sitting there like, is this not just the Inner Circle now?
It pretty much is, yeah. Except they kicked out Ortiz and Santana, which they did before. So, like...
Ortiz and Santana and Ortiz, and then replaced them with freaking 2.0 and Daniel Garcia.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just don't know where that's gonna... That's too many people.
Yeah.
Unless they have Guevara off doing his own thing. But... And
like, if he's not like a Jericho Appreciation Society guy, and he's just, hey, this is my buddy, and I was doing him a solid type of thing.
Well, they said they're the newest members. They said they're the newest members.
Oh, they did? I missed that. Yeah. I didn't recall it, sorry.
The other question I have, my nitpicking moment of the week, and it's AEW, is what in the fuck are they doing with the TNT title? I don't even know anymore.
I'm not sure if Tony knows at this point.
Like they have a new title coming in. The Atlantic,
what the fuck?
Which I'm not grooving on it. It's
that was
not
fucking out of nowhere.
It's an excuse. It's an excuse to have a match with All Japan in it. Which I'm just gonna say the Japan continent.
Yeah,
that's really what they want. They want to make it seem like the whole world. The problem is the Atlantic. Like, you can't call it the Atlantic. Like, it makes no sense. Japan is clearly in the Pacific Ocean. I've seen it glow. But I just look at that and I'm like, okay, Miro's going to win that.
Yeah.
Unless they're stupid.
Maybe.
Yeah, that feels like a kind of a foregone conclusion, yeah.
Dude's amazing. Dude should be... They got to find a way to get him to the main belt. But, why are we doing that? And then, like, we have this TNT belt that was, like, so important and so relevant, and it made when Cody Rhodes was champion and he defended it every week, it made that belt more important, and by proxy, it made the World Championship more important because it wasn't defended as much, and it was a big deal if the World Belt was getting defended. Now we're going to have, like, the TNT belts, it's going to be on Rampage. Then again, that's the TNT channel. Maybe that's the idea. Maybe I'm missing something. Maybe that's what's going on. They want to have one belt for Rampage. They want to have one belt for Dynamite.
Maybe.
I don't know. But I look at that and then I go, he's not a strong champion. I love Scorpio Sky, and I think he's a great worker.
Mm-hmm.
He's in a really weird spot with Dan Lambert, and I like Dan Lambert. I know Leon hates him, and you hate him, but I like Dan Lambert. I think Dan Lambert is perfect for what he's doing. I think he's perfect. But they just had a feud with Sammy Guevara and Ty Conti, and they were the faces.
Yeah.
So how do you, like, Dan Lambert needs to do something else. They need to turn Scorpio Sky face, but now they're trying to feud him with Wardlow. But I was completely under the impression they were going to give... They were going to give Scorpio Sky a run as champion. Now it's like, if he fights Wardlow, he has to lose. He can't beat Wardlow. He cannot beat Wardlow right now.
Yeah.
Because Wardlow is damaged goods after what happened with the MJF thing. Because he became, at a moment that should have been all about him, it became more about, holy shit, MJF's here. And he became damaged goods.
Mm-hmm.
So they kind of fucked the pooch on that one. So you've got to find a way to build Wardlow back up. Just have him keep killing people, fine. Give him the TNT title and let him murder everybody, great.
Or you could give him a long chase after the TNT, but he's kind of just came from that, right?
He can't lose.
Yeah.
You can't have him lose. So what do? The champion just refuses to fight him? Because that doesn't work, because then or he gets disqualified, that's not an AEW ending.
They should have. I thought this when they did it, but like they should have just kept Scorpio Sky away from, like, when they did that break angle, and then they brought them back. Like, Scorpio had broken from the rest of the team, or it seemed like it, and then he came back and laid out Frankie Kazarian. Like, they should have just left Scorpio Sky on his own. Like, he's a strong worker. He's strong on the mic. Like,
I don't think he's strong on the mic. I don't think he's strong on the mic. I think that's the problem. I think his mic skills are a little, and I think that's their thought process. That's why they're putting him with Lambert.
Yeah.
Because his mic skills are by far the weakest part of that package. Not that they're awful, but they're not good.
Yeah.
So, but he seems like
they're not up to the level that he is in the ring.
Right.
Yeah, and he should be a babyface. But I don't know. I look at that and then I go, there's so many things that are good, and there's so many things right now where I'm like, what the fuck? And it's growing pains. It's that whole figuring shit out. You know.
Yeah. I think maybe the TNT title, just like that title picture is just, it's very muddy right now because there's so many people you could put up against Scorpio Sky, and they're just not making a choice. Unless they are choosing Wardlow, in which case it's like you said, I don't see any way that it makes sense to have Wardlow lose that.
If you're not going to give Wardlow that, what the fuck are you doing with Wardlow?
Yeah.
There's a pay-per-view coming up. He's not going to be at Forbidden Door. Okay?
I said this. I just want to point that out.
With what? Before the thing?
Yeah, like, what are they going to do with Wardlow?
When you wanted MJF to beat him and not give him the contract?
I mean, that's not exactly what I said, but like...
Yeah, kind of. But what are we going to do with him at the pay-per-view?
Yeah.
They need to have some plan. I think if that MJF shit wouldn't have happened going into that pay-per-view and they would have just done that match normal and had Wardlow win, I think that he'd be in a better spot. That hurt him. That hurt him bad because then MJF comes out the night after or the week after and like barely talks about it and doesn't even sell it and just comes out and cuts a promo about Tony Khan being an asshole.
Yeah.
So it's like...
It overshadowed everything that happened with him and Wardlow.
Yeah.
Everything they built up for 3 years.
Yeah. Yeah, that was disappointing. That was disappointing because I don't know where they're going with. I don't know where they're going with Wardlow, and it's like they're clearly in full gear into Forbidden Door right now. That's what they're looking at. Forbidden Door is what we're looking at. We're gonna go do that, and then it's gonna be. After that, it's okay. Then now we got our September pay-per-view. We got to start thinking about that, which clearly is going to be headlined by Moxley and Punk, which I'm all for.
I mean, I could see Tanahashi too.
I don't see it because I don't think Tanahashi's going to come over here. They got him booked all over the place. I don't think it's going to happen. I would like that. I wouldn't have a problem with that. I just think Moxley's going to win. I think it makes more sense.
Yeah.
Because I think you're not going to get any build-up. And Tanahashi's not going to be able to come over here and defend the belt.
I mean, I think it would be cool if they started like defending that belt elsewhere, like IWGP is doing or NJPW is doing with their belt. Like they defended in AEW. They defended in, other companies. But I think it would be cool.
But you still have to have your champion at your show.
I mean, Vince would probably disagree. I see what you're saying. I just think it would be cool for them to go a different route, but they're probably not going to.
I don't know.
I would agree with you. I think that they're going to do. And the flip side of that is, I imagine that's what the transatlantic title is supposed to be. Like that's going to be the belt that's fought in Impact, in whatever promotions are in the UK, whatever promotions are in Ireland or Scotland or Russia,
I suppose
whatever.
if you made that more of a traveling belt, that would be kind of cool.
Yeah.
That one just has me kind of like meh.
That one I'm actually kind of excited about because I think the matches that they've had leading into it have been good, and it would be cool to see. I think it would be cool to put it on Miro and then send Miro to other companies. But we'll see. I think I'm more excited about that than what they're doing with the TNT title right now.
Team other companies.
Yeah.
The TNT title is kind of abysmal. What about the tag team title switch? That one pissed you off because the Young Bucks won?
It didn't piss me off. It was just kind of...
the ending of that, like that match itself,
out of nowhere.
That match itself was great. I think I said possibly the last time we did this that the Young Bucks are just there and have no momentum.
Yeah.
And now they're the champions. I think the Jeff Hardy thing messed it up.
Yeah.
Though, like deep down inside, I hope their plan wasn't to actually give the tag belts to the Hardy Boys, because I don't think that was no.
I mean, at this point, how do you make a long-term plan around fucking Jeff?
You can't.
Yeah.
You can't. And it's sad, but it's just like, yeah. But I watched that match, and it was so obvious what was going to happen. I like the Young Bucks. I think the Young Bucks will be great champions because they always have incredible matches, so I have no issue with it. Who are they going to feud with? I don't know. Is this the thing with them and Red Dragon? Probably, I would guess, though they're messing around with Sting and Darby. Like, where are we going with that? Then I guess the most obvious thing of all, Christian turned on Jungle Boy.
Yeah.
Which was just like, yeah.
I mean,
it's...
Yeah, when that happened, I was like, "Oh, that's sad." But as you both have said multiple times, they should have done it ages ago. They lost the momentum on it.
I don't think they did, and I think it'll be. I want to know what they're going to do, because if you go to this next pay-per-view and just have Jungle Boy beat him, that's pointless.
Yeah.
So I think he has to lose to Christian. I think there has to be like a learning process. Because I stand behind the fact that I enjoy Jungle Boy's build, because when he gets to the top and they give him the World Championship, which I think we're like 2 years away from, when Jungle Boy gets the belt, that will be the moment. That will be the biggest moment in this company, because that's the guy they started with, and that's the guy they looked at and said, we're building around him. And he's losing every tag team match with a giant dinosaur guy. Okay? What are they going to do with Luchasaurus? Yeah. What are they going to do with Luchasaurus? You know, is he going to get involved in that, or is it going to be like, are they going to go find something else for him to do?
I mean, I think
because that dude has value. Like he's over, and people love him because he's just, you watch him work and you just go, holy shit, this guy can work, and he's huge. Well, they don't have a lot of big guys.
I think the question right now with him is, what side is he going to be on? Is he going to be with Christian, or is he going to be with Jungle Boy? And I think that's going to sell the story. At least for the next couple of weeks, is trying to figure out where he's going to go.
Why would he pick Christian, though? That'd be totally out of the... You know what I mean? Because, yeah, you would think he would pick Jungle Boy because they've been together longer, and... You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, I think they could sell it on the whole, you know, I've been with you all this time, and I've only gotten so far. I'm going with him so I can learn more and go farther and do more.
I think that's a great story, but I told you guys before, that's Hogan Andre. You do that down the road. You do that when, like, he's the champion and you need a challenger. You want to pop a big buy. You have him turn on, then you have him be like the loyal, I'm your buddy, I got your back all the time, but I'm bigger than you and I'm better than you and I can beat you. And then they finally have to clash.
Yeah. I mean, that would be cool, but...
I don't see him putting him with Christian. I don't think it makes any sense. But I don't know. Like, is he just not going to be a part of that? Are they going to give him a singles run? You know, because he
might just fade into the background for a while.
Very possible. Or is he going to be like Jungle Boy's right hand man? Because I can see that too, but not get involved. I don't know. It's weird. That's kind of what I thought. But I don't know what you. I don't know what you do with him.
I don't know how you ignore him in that whole thing. Like, I don't know how he fades into the background. Because I think we've built this relationship between Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus where they're going to do something.
You can't have Christian take him out. Because Christian's a slimy heel, and there ain't no way he could take out... You know what I mean? Like, that wouldn't make sense either. So, unless Christian gets a group and does exactly what Edge is doing, and then gets kicked out of the group in 2 weeks. And we're like, yeah!
We've seen this before.
I don't know. That one was... I don't know. It was okay. I enjoyed Dynamite last week. I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah.
That was kind of not... That ending was kind of like... Yeah. Okay.
But
the highlight of Dynamite, the absolute fucking highlight of Dynamite, perhaps the moment of the year.
I feel like you were going to answer the same thing on this.
was when, oh my god, Will Ospreay's in the ring being a cop, and the greatest fucking theme song of all time hits. Mm-hmm. And out comes Orange Cassidy. I literally popped on my couch. I was like, this is amazing.
And the pop that he got when he came out.
Nuts.
Like, it was bonkers. That was, I was like, holy shit, that's so awesome.
He's over.
Yeah.
He's more over, I think. I think he's more over than Danhausen.
Yeah.
I think Danhausen's different because Danhausen's quirky and everybody likes him. But if Danhausen comes out, you expect kind of goofiness. When Orange Cassidy comes out, it's like, this guy's just kind of cool. Like, he's got a different vibe. Yeah. It's just like he's got that fucking I don't care attitude. But that pop was nuts. That was the moment of the night for me. I realize I'm an Orange Cassidy mark, but
no, that was an amazing. That moment was amazing, and
I just
that match that happened before it, Dax versus Ospreay, was amazing. Like,
yes, Ospreay versus Cassidy is gonna low key be possibly the match of the night.
It's very possible. Yeah.
Cassidy can go. What I want to see them do is I want to see them start to give that guy some shit to do instead of just standing outside the ring doing whatever. Like, they got to start getting him. They got to build him a little because I think he's such a unique commodity that they have. And he's like, I realize he's not an AEW guy, like, truly. Like, he made that character elsewhere. But when AEW started, he was there. Mm-hmm. And the first fucking time he showed up, that crowd went fucking bananas, and it never stopped.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think they need to give him a little bit of a push. Give him the TNT title.
Oh, God.
Let him go.
Yes. I would be fine with that.
I think it'd be great.
Even put him up against Scorpio Sky at All Out. Why the hell not? Or do it before that.
Who knows? That was a good moment, though. That was fun.
Yeah.
That whole show was a good show. That was a show I watched, and there was moments where I was like, okay. But the most of it, I was like, this is pretty good. Britt Baker lost, which was weird. But they're doing two AEW females at Forbidden Door.
Yeah.
I cannot wrap my head around it.
So I have some thoughts on that, but I wanted to jump back to Britt Baker. You have mentioned, Town, multiple times that you think that it made no sense for them to take the title off of Britt Baker, and I'm starting to see why they did. I think they're starting to widen the field, because I think when you have Britt Baker, who's such a strong presence as the title holder, and you keep giving her the wins, you're burying other people in the process.
You can't Roman Reigns it. Yeah.
You have Thunder Rosa, you have Serena Deeb, you have Toni Storm, you have Ruby Riott. It's not her name, Ruby Soho. But like you're getting this swath of women that are they're getting bigger than the ceiling that they're coming up against, which was Britt Baker. So we had to have at some point someone take the belt off her, and I think that she's still shining. Like, I still think that she's a highlight of the show whenever she's wrestling.
The problem with her, though, is that you have to get somebody on her level, and I think Thunder Rosa beat her. I don't think Thunder Rosa's on her level. And I like Thunder Rosa.
I think as a wrestler she is. I think in other ways she's not.
As a star, she's not. As the overall package, she's not.
Right.
As a wrestler, she's amazing. Like, I don't want to... But, we'll see what happens. That match just is like it's on Forbidden Door, and I'm just like, what? Why?
So here's the thing. Is like NJPW is a completely male organization. That's the only wrestlers they have. So I understand potentially why they did that. But the parent company for NJPW also owns Shimmer. So like you have this other roster that you could pull from, that you could put up against, like, make it a three-way. Make one of those women, like, they have Riho. They have Emi Sakura. Okay. A lot of them are not names that we would necessarily know, because a lot of them are Japan primarily, and Shimmer is just starting to come up. Is it Shimmer?
Shimmer's in Japan? I think so. No, that can't be
I'm thinking of something else. Hold on.
Yeah, Shimmer's not in Japan.
No, Shimmer is here. You're right.
Yeah. I was confused. I was very confused by that. Because I'm like, Shimmer's like not what you're describing to me right now.
Fuck. I subscribe to their channel. I am blanking.
Wow, you're really doing good, bud.
Yeah, I'm doing great.
Leon, can you sing me a verse of Ruby Soha's theme song?
As sung by Taz.
Out is unknown destination town.
Stardom.
Did you record that? Okay, that makes more sense.
Stardom.
Does it say Shimmer? What the fuck are you talking about?
And Stardom has a lot of
the F word.
Stardom has a lot of star power there, but like most of them are stars in Japan, and less so here.
Yeah, not really known stateside.
Yeah. But that doesn't mean they can't pull from that roster, of course.
Oh.
Yeah.
You can just sell it as this will be a hell of a wrestling match.
Yeah. Like.
Sometimes that's all you have.
I hope they do. I don't think it makes a lot of sense to have
person match or something.
Mm-hmm.
Just let them all go at each other.
Yeah.
Maybe we should do it in a tub of gravy. I'll live Vince McMahon.
Or Jello.
Oh, dear God.
Those matches are so bad. In the midst of Trish Stratus trying to be like a real wrestler.
And somehow she did. Somehow she made
great.
it. Her and Lita,
some of the people though that her and Lita fought, sometimes it was just like, oh my god, this is terrible. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Ivory wasn't bad. Cat was pretty bad.
Yes.
Sable was pretty bad wrestler, but Sable was such a star it didn't fucking matter.
She wasn't. I don't think she wrestled that much, did she?
She was women's champion for a while.
Oh, okay.
She was such a star. She was such a fucking star.
She pinned her husband.
Yeah, that's true. She did pin her husband. Not Brock, Mark Merrill.
Oh, okay. It's like, I don't remember her fighting Brock. I forgot she was married to Mark Merrow.
Brock smash! Alright, what else you got, bud?
What else do I got? Oh, we should just talk about Forbidden Door, because we got like 30 minutes to talk about the matches here. Or not.
Yeah, the matches. I don't have the matches. Tell me the matches.
So currently they have Tanahashi and Moxley.
I think that would be good. But like I said, I think Moxley's going to win that.
Yeah. I think there's potential to have it go to Tanahashi, but I think you're right. I think it makes more sense for
the business side.
Yeah. Especially considering like TNT. The TNT title is not really there. If the TNT title was at the level that it was a year ago, maybe you could pull that off.
I don't know. Like Sammy Guevara as TNT champion was rocking it, and then he wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
And then it just got weird. Like, it got really fucking weird really, really quick, and that belt just, for some reason, it just nosedived to the point where it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And it was like Sammy Guevara was doing, his matches were fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
That ladder match he had with Cody Rhodes, and then he started blanking Ty Conte, and now we all hate him. You know why we hate him? Because he's better than us, and we're jealous of him.
I was gonna say
seriously what it is.
Because he's boinking.
I don't dislike
Ty
him.
Conte.
I don't dislike him at all. I think he's fantastic. I wouldn't boo him. I'd cheer him. I'm like, fuck yeah, that's my guy. He's great.
Yeah.
But like your average fan is like, there's a lot of jealousy.
That's his character. I think he's banking on the jealousy part a lot right now.
He wasn't. They weren't trying to do that because they wanted him to be face, and no one fucking bought it.
They're just like, fuck it. We're not going to.
When they started sending him out there with Ty, I mean, it completely changed his reaction.
Yeah. Yeah.
But their reaction changed before they were even together, though. Because once they announced it on Instagram that they were actually a couple, because I remember I follow him on Instagram, and I remember like I started seeing her pop up in all his posts and shit. I was like, what is going on? And then one day he posts a picture of them kissing. I'm like, oh, that makes a lot of sense. I was like, I thought he was engaged to somebody else. No. Shit happens. So.
Yeah, they made a big thing of him proposing on live TV.
That's what sunk him, though. That's what sunk him.
Yeah.
I think.
So then we also have Pac versus Miro versus Black or Oscuro versus Connor or Ishii. Connors, who I've never heard of before, but apparently has wrestled on Dark. So I think it's going to be Ishii. Yeah, Ishii. Right?
That'll be a good match.
Yeah.
I think Malachi
I want to
wins.
see fucking Ichi and Miro just fucking throwing bombs at each other.
I think you probably will, Leon.
Yeah.
Big meaty men slapping meat.
I would love to see Pac win this, but I personally think Miro's going to win it. Because they're pushing him hard since he came back.
Because he's good. His character's good. He's good on the mic. He's a great wrestler. He's got great everything. Like, how Vince McMahon missed on him, I don't know. He's like the perfect fucking professional wrestler. He has to win. And Pac, I like Pac, but Pac's weird. And he's had a weird run.
Yeah.
He got hurt, then during the COVID shit, he got locked over in England and couldn't come over. And he missed a lot of time, and it's just kind of like, nah. And I think this feud that he has going on with the House of Black, I like Death Triangle, but the House of Black is way more entertaining and cool.
Yeah.
So it's kind of downplaying them a little bit, and they just look. They've wasted too much time on that.
Yeah. I mean, I'm with you. I think Death Triangle's awesome, but Malachi Black and the House of Black are overshadowing them.
I don't necessarily agree with him trying to, like... They're trying to make Death Triangle seem like they're darker than they are, when they should really just go to the ring and have matches.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a little strange, isn't it? Like...
Yeah, it really is.
Like they're trying to mimic House of Black. Like, I don't understand that. Especially with Alex... I'm blanking on his last name, but he is not a menacing character. He does not fit the bill of a pallbearer, if you will, to the Undertaker. Like, he does not have the same presence as pallbearer, and I think that's what they're trying to do.
Wait.
I didn't know that was going to happen, but now I need that in my life more often. Just want to follow me around during my day and do that for me. What else we got, bud?
Well, we got Jericho, Guevara, Suzuki versus Kingston, Yuta, and Umino. Which, I don't know.
What the fuck?
I get it, but that seems really thrown together randomly.
It does.
I get what they did, and I get it, and I get that they're trying to get as many people as possible on here, but I'm not that excited about that one.
Yeah. We talked about... what'd you say, Leon?
Muttering.
After you team up Jericho and Suzuki, that is such a weird team.
It's so strange. But, you know, he has money, I guess? I don't know. We've talked about, I think last week or maybe last show, about sort of seeing the chaos happening in AEW, and I think this is part of it. I also think a lot of Forbidden Door seems sort of thrown together, and some of it's sticking, some of it's not.
The only other problem with that is if I'm Tony Khan, there's guys I have that I don't want to lose, and if I'm New Japan, I have people that I don't want to lose either. So we've got to find the right mix of people, and we've got to start making some deals. Like, if Moxley's going to win against Tanahashi, then you're going to have somebody important lose to somebody that's important over here. Like, because that matters. We sit here and we think, oh, it doesn't matter. And we have this one-side sculpt of, well, the Americans should win because we're in America. But that's not the case at all.
Yeah.
So I think that's part of it. I think there's a lot of political going on there. So if you mix them together, it's like I took a melatonin. If you mix them together, you're more likely than somebody can take a pinfall, and you know what I mean.
Well, not even politics. Like AEW has their storylines, and GPW has their storylines, and they're trying to like mash them together. And some of them work, some of them don't, you know?
Oh, agreed.
And so, like, you come up to this hard decision, like, how do you make Suzuki still a badass, but he's going to lose? That doesn't make any sense. So, like, where do you put him?
Just let him be in the match.
Yeah.
He'll save it.
I mean, we've talked about Ospreay and Cassidy, Rosa and Storm. Do you want to talk about FTR, Roppongi Vice, and United Empire?
Roppongi Vice is the coolest name ever.
They're not winning, though. There's no way they're winning. I would be shocked if they won, because, like, that is sort of
I think FTR is going to win. I think FTR going over to Japan makes sense right now.
Yeah.
Because they're so good. Mm-hmm. And they're overshadowing everything. Like the Bucks as AEW champions, I get, but it's like... And I love the Young Bucks, and you know this. Leon hates me for liking them, but I love the Young Bucks. Like, they were the best tag team last year. Not this year, because this year it's FTR. And they've got to do something, because if they're in the same company, the fuck are we going to do? They got to have a match. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's just like, you got to get them away from the Bucks, because I think that's the money. Is that not the money match?
I think so. Yeah.
I don't see anybody else.
I mean, I think you put that on All Out or Full Gear.
Unless, there's only one way I can see this changing. If the Ass Boys turn face to join Danhausen, then they could be the champions.
Okay, yeah.
And if they come out as Rod and Todd Ass.
Rod and Todd Ass.
Rod and Todd Ass.
I don't know. I like their current shtick with Max Caster and...
Oh my god, I fucking love it.
Every single time.
They're so entertaining.
We're done with the Ass Boys.
Say Ass Boys. Ass Boys. They're gonna split up.
Yeah.
And they're gonna have a great feud. But who's going face?
I think the Ass Boys do. I think Billy Gunn sides. I think Billy Gunn sides with the Acclaimed, which is hilarious. This is like that angle is such a Brood angle.
That is a very Brood angle. The only thing that feud needs is fucking Danhausen.
I think so. Yeah.
Danhausen needs to be the one to save the Ass Boys.
You know what that feud needs? Fucking Floppy.
Hook Floppenhausen.
Floppyhausen.
No, all three of them. All three of them got to come in.
Oh my god. That is a very Brood
I have
thing.
this image of like Hook running in and carrying Floppy.
Why did we ever do Floppy? Like, I don't fucking remember that, but it was funny.
You know, it worked. That's all that matters.
Because you made a trip down to the adult store one night.
I wasn't alone when Floppy was purchased.
No.
Jensen was with me.
Yeah.
And we both walk in there. I don't remember why. Then he's just like... Look at this fucking dildo. Who would ever buy this? I don't know. We should buy it. Okay. That was about it.
And the booking brilliance began with that simple statement.
How did I do that? I'm like, hey, there's Leah. Hey, Leon, I have this huge dildo. Can you use this for something? Then you started calling it Floppy. And we had... Floppy was probably a more important member of the Brood than Leon.
Hey, wait a minute.
It took him a 1, 2, 3. Hold on.
No,
hold on.
Like what you're insinuating here.
When Leon turned on us and joined Pain at the end there before he came back, I remember one episode where we're like, wait, you turned on us, but did Floppy turn on us? I remember asking you that. And Leon's just like, of course he did. I think.
Of course I did. Do you think I could have used him as a weapon without his involvement?
Without his consent? No, of course not.
Floppy screaming, I do not consent, I do not consent.
His first words. Oh, shit.
The dildo talking. else do we have?
So we talked about Sabre and Danielson.
It'd be great if it happens.
We'll see if it happens. What's happening with the IWGP heavyweight title, do we think? Because Jay White came out, he said, he took out Paige, and he says, "You're not facing me." And then he walks past Adam Cole, he says, "You're not facing me either." So, like, what are they going to do? Is Tony Khan just going to pull in Tony Khan and say, "You're facing both of them"? Are they going to pull a completely wild card? Because Okada's not going to be there. So, like, who else?
Is Okada officially not going to be there?
He's not going to be there. They said it on Dynamite. There are several things saying that, like his baby's going to be born then. He's talking about he's celebrating his birthday, but not in the States, and his birthday is, like, right around that same time. There's good reason to think that Okada's not going to be there. He could be a surprise, but it seems like not. But, like, even if Okada is there, like, you need an AEW guy in there.
Do you throw?
I would think.
You throw a multi-man match together? I don't know. I don't have the slightest idea.
Seems like that.
I don't have the slightest idea.
Does Hangman have anything for this yet?
No, that's what he's angling for, is IWGP. He wanted to face Okada, but they gave it to Jay White.
Which means they had a reason to do that. I don't know. I really don't know.
I think I could very much enjoy Hangman versus Switchblade.
Yeah. It would be badass.
That could be some good wrestling right there.
Yeah, I don't know. I was wondering the same thing. It honestly at times feels like this pay-per-view is a month away, but it's
next weekend.
It's this weekend, but it's Monday.
Okay,
but
yes,
it's this weekend.
It's in 2 days if you're watching this on Friday. So I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen there.
I have a lot of questions that need to be answered about it yet, but I'm looking forward to it because I think it'll be good. I think it'll be nice to see these influences because these matches should be. None of them will be bad, I don't think.
Yeah.
I don't think you're going to get your normal... It's not going to be like a normal pay-per-view. Leon.
Hi, Leon.
Acknowledge me.
I might have to change you to Roman Reigns in that moment.
Yeah,
right
we
there.
probably should do that because that one's going to scare people. We're going to put like a fucking warning on the video. Leon gets extremely close to the thing and will scare young children and old people.
Extreme eye contact. Look away.
He does kind of look like Roman with that beard.
He does.
Fuck you guys.
So I have... Go ahead.
That is just hurtful.
Yo, you're fine. Go ahead, bud.
I have a bunch of bonus material, but there's one thing that I wanted to cover. And we've covered it a little bit. It's the MJF drama that we think started off as a shoot and has developed into a work. Where that started sort of doesn't matter because that happened 2 weeks ago. And at least 13 things have happened since then.
Has happened since, yeah.
Do we care anymore about MJF? Or does that even matter?
Sure.
Like, there's part of me that says we lost steam with MJF because all of this shit happened and people have forgotten. But then there's the other part of me that says, yes, everybody's forgotten, and so now when he comes back, it's going to be a bigger deal.
That's what I think. I think we haven't forgotten. I think it's just one of those things where... Do you remember when Punk went to Money in the Bank and beat John Cena for the belt? And then walked out with the belt. Like, amazing moment.
Yeah.
Do you know what ruined it? He came back 2 weeks later. Because they didn't give him the time. If Punk would have went away for like 4 months and then randomly come back and been like, dude, you're pretending I'm the champion? Holy shit. That would have been a huge moment. But they rushed it.
Yeah.
You know, and I think I don't think AEW is going to rush it. I don't think they have to.
I don't even think it was 2 weeks. I think it was like...
It was 2 weeks.
It was? Okay. I thought it was like that next Raw right away because they had that tournament to determine the new champ, and then he came right out, I thought. No,
they came out. They came out after Raw, and Vince was going to come out, and he was going to fire John Cena, and then Triple H came out and said, Vince, you've been removed from your position, blah, blah, blah. And then he fake cried and called him dad and gave up and whatnot.
I forgot
and Vince had to go away, and it was really, really stupid. And then they announced that they were going to have a tournament the next week, which Rey Mysterio won. Then immediately agreed to fight John Cena, which was stupid. I don't know why he did that, and lost to him. And then Punk came out. So it was vintage WWE.
Yeah, but I don't know how. I don't know that you can do that any different, because the smart marks back then knew that he was coming back. They knew that he wasn't leaving with the title because of how Vince feels about the title, right?
But what if you really sent him to ROH and made him have him wrestle at ROH, and you really sent him somewhere else and you let him for 4 months do his thing?
That's true.
You could have built to that, and had him not acknowledge WWE and just kind of go, like, that would have been, like, that whole Summer of Punk could have been the biggest thing ever. There's 2 moments in the past 10 years where the ball got dropped. That was number 1. Number 2 is Daniel Bryan and the Yes Movement. That should have been the fucking moment of that. That was Austin. When he beat the shit out of Bray Wyatt in the cage and stood on the top of that cage, and he's putting his hands up in the air, and he's going super slow, and the people are seeing it just in tune with what he's doing. That was the moment, and they just did not hit on either of those guys because they like Samoans.
Yeah. They like the relatives of The Rock. That's pretty much the...
Rock relative?
Yeah.
Oh, let's hire him. Or her.
Or whoever.
Yeah. I don't know. I look at that and then I think they dropped the ball. There's so many things they could do, and I think that AEW... they get it.
Here's my one apprehension.
Listening.
We have a lot of faith in AEW because AEW has historically, thus far, done a lot better on their storytelling than has WWE.
Understatement, yes.
But in the last month or two, they've dropped the ball a few times, and sometimes it's because they made a bad move, like they did with Wardlow, and sometimes it's because somebody gets injured, like, CM Punk's supposed to be at Forbidden Door, and he gets injured. What the fuck are we gonna do now? So I'm apprehensive that
what they're showing me that they can't do is they can book a face to a moment, and they can't book the moment after.
Yeah.
That's the dropping of the ball.
Yeah.
Is MJF a face? I don't think he is.
Is he a face if he comes back, though?
I don't think he is.
What does that even matter, really? Like, I don't
think he is. I think it's different.
I could see him returning to a positive response, but then I could also see him turning that around 2 minutes
really
on
good
the
at
mic.
that.
Yeah.
I think he comes back as a heel. I think he comes back as a heel. And I think you're on such a fine line of reality and whatnot that it'll work. And I think just keeping him away, he's got to do stuff elsewhere. Like we gotta see him do something else, or he's got to do nothing. He's either got to go do other shit and act like he's not part of AEW, or he's got to do nothing. He's got to do one or the other.
Complete media blackout. Yeah.
Yeah, like he can't be tweeting shit, and then. So I don't know. I think I don't want to say it's a unique situation, but it kind of is.
It really is.
So I think it's one that I think he beats Punk for the title. I think he's the guy. I think he is the guy. That doesn't have to happen soon. That's not what I'm saying. But I think he's the guy. I think that he should be... I think he'll be the first one of those pillar guys to get the belt. And I think...
They keep having Punk... By keep, I mean 2 guys I can think of. Kingston and Page. Going up to Punk and saying, you don't belong here. You shouldn't be here. Because he's a WWE guy. They're doing this thing where it's like, you're a WWE guy. You don't belong here. You're not an AEW guy. And they're not doing it overtly like WWE would do. Like, WWE versus AEW. They're doing this subtle thing. But I think if they keep building that, if they keep having these pillars go up against Punk and Punk takes them out, it's going to make a huge deal when MJF does it. Because we've seen MJF take CM Punk to the edge, right?
Yeah.
And we've seen MJF potentially understand how to beat Punk.
Wonderful as Punk has been, and as much fun as it has been to see him back and see him actually literally enjoying wrestling, and he's putting on really good matches and he's doing great. When that motherfucker decides it's time to turn heel, and he goes full bore, holy shit, it's gonna be fucking bonkers. Do you remember when he went heel in WWE the last time? He was the best heel ever, and now there's no barriers. There's nothing to hold him in. He can just go.
Yeah.
And I think he'll be. That's the Punk that I want to see, because that's gonna be the best CM Punk that there is.
Yeah.
And he'll.
Nobody's trying to write promos for him.
Yeah, just fuck you, Punk. Just that's what he'll be. And I mean, that's when you need a guy like a John Moxley to fight him. Not now, but I know why they're gonna do it now. But you gotta have a baby face ready to go up against him and kind of chase him a little bit. Maybe that's Jungle Boy. Maybe that's somebody else. I don't know. I don't know.
There's a lot of I don't know right now.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for the show.
Yeah.
I'm excited for it. I think it'll be good.
Yeah. Leon, you're supposed to say yeah. And with that, I think we can call it a wrap.
Do the outro.
That's what I'm doing. I'm in the middle of the outro. You interrupted the outro.
Hey, bud, do the outro.
Now I have to introduce the outro. I've introduced the outro that I was just outroing into the intro of outroing. What?
Leon?
Tell Bud to do the outro.
Hey, bud, do the outro. Hey,
no,
Leon,
you guys do it. Fuck you.
I told Bud to do the
outro.
Thank you for telling Bud to do the outro.
Hey, Bud, do the outro.
I have been Bud Robinson. This is Town and Leon. And all hail Danhausen. God bless Orange Cassidy.
God bless Orange Cassidy.
And,
Cassidy, everyone.
It's like we're a fucking cult.